MashaAllah, it's beautiful news. Alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Inshallah, I plan to finish before 9:30 and jazakumullah khairan for your time and for your presence. Again, to understand the importance and significance of this 15 minutes that we do on a weekly basis is very simple. If we're not working to reinforce and to uphold the best way in the best manner, then alternative ways, alternative methods will creep into our world. And I promise you those alternative methods and ways will look better. And they will, what we term in our society, they will trend. Like we had the ice bucket challenge from the first time, and now we have the Kiki challenge, It trends. Why? Because people see and say, this is interesting, I want to do it too. This happens in our deen also. You go for Umrah or Hajj. We learn from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he taught his Sahaba that when you go in front of a black stone, you turn to it and you say, Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. You are kissing Yaminullah fil ard. You're kissing the black stone. But then some people say, why do you have to do that? So alternative things start trending. Some people just wave. Some people give like a high five to Allah, thumbs up, 2 hands. And other people see like, hey, that looks good. That makes more sense. So I'll do it also. And what happens is our deen becomes confused. Our people in the deen become confused, and the practices of our deen becomes confusing. That is why we feel it's essential that number one, we learn, we reinforce, and we create that culture where when we are in our 24-hour life, the way of Rasulullah is the way we live. Why? Because it's something that's been trending for 1400 years and it's still successful. Let me give you a quick story. There once was a king who had an ailment in his skin that went to his bone, in his nose. And the doctor said that in order to prevent this from spreading into your whole face and into your body, we'll have to cut your nose off. The king was reluctant, but when he saw that this thing was getting worse, they took his nose off. Now what happened was, the king is now sitting every day amongst his ministers, and when they're talking to him, they're looking at it. They're looking at the voice. So he knew, and he felt bad about it. So what he had ordered was all the ministers and all those that work in the king's palace chop their nose off. So now he felt comfortable because this is trending now. But the problem was when those ministers went home and their wives and children looked at him, they would look here. So they came and complained to the king. King said, everyone's nose cut off. So he created a culture that when any foreigner was coming through that town and they saw people without a nose, they would do this. Because they thought this was a problem. It takes a few steps to change our deen also. It takes a few voids to completely turn 180 on what our deen is. So there's 3 things I want to talk today in regards to reinforcing the sunnah. Number 1, we come to the masjid, we talked about this, we're following the procedure of the 24-hour cycle starting from the masjid, right? Everyone with me? We did this for 2 weeks now. We said, how do we enter the masjid? How do we listen to the adhan? How do we form our lines? This was last week. Now, takbir tahrima, brothers and sisters. The most important part of the prayer is how you enter the prayer. If you're not entering the prayer correctly, it's like someone in a race that runs before the gun is shot. What did you call that? That's a false start, right? So what happens is that if you continue to do that, you may be eliminated. You have to start when everyone starts. In regards to the starting, what is the correct method of doing takbir? We see for those who come in late especially, sometimes there is no takbir. The Imam is in ruku, so we just run in and go right into ruku. Guess what happened? We didn't even start our prayer. And if our prayer hasn't even begun, we need to ask ourselves the question, has it been complete? So regardless where the Imam is in his prayer, when we come, takbir tahrima is to raise the hands. Regardless of the school of thought, if it's here or here, wherever it is, but it has to be raised where the palms are facing the qibla. Everyone's with me? None of this, that, and this, Allah Akbar. Like we're grabbing something from Allah. No, there's discipline. Our deen is discipline. Just like we see people of Japan or other countries, and we see a level of discipline in their actions, our deen teaches us. It teaches us exactly that thing. So the first thing is we need to reinforce the method of entering into Salah, which is Allahu Akbar. Does that make sense, inshallah? I'm not going to go through the whole method of prayer. That's the first thing I want to talk about. The second thing is, many of us have become accustomed to the fast namaz, You know, when Ramadan comes around, you see those YouTube videos from India. The fastest tarawih, 26 minutes. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. It's like, I don't know what kind of express yoga that is. And sometimes people tell me, Imam, do it faster. The same people say, Imam, do faster. You go to the park and they're doing yoga. They're stuck like this for 20 minutes. There's nothing fast about that. But now in namaz, we have to go fast. In Salah, we learn from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, never precede the Imam. Follow the Imam. It teaches us discipline. It's not the person who's standing here. It's the word of Allah that we're following. Allahu Akbar is being said. We are going into ruku. Not the Imam is Minal Jinnati wan Nas. We've already gone in ruku. Because we know the surah, right? We're going to go straight into ruku. Imam, we're waiting for you here. And when we come up from Sami Allahu liman hamida, we're going to go straight down. It's a nosedive. F16. Straight down. Oh, la hawla wa quwwata illa billah. I'm not even going to tell you the curse that Rasulullah said in regards to those who go before the Imam. May Allah protect us all from that. Say Ameen. We will not go before the Imam. We will learn to listen and follow. If the Imam is standing, Sami Allahu liman hamida, Rabbana lakal hamd, we're going to stand. Each part of our salah should be such that we feel comfort and ease in each of those junctions. We should not be coming up stiff and running down stiff. Stand up from our ruku, feel at ease, and then go into ruku. So we will not precede the Imam, and we will not delay in following the Imam. Just say the Imam has made his tashahhud and he's gone up to the third rak'ah, and we're here, Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiyyu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi salihin. Imam is already standing up. If the Imam stands, what do? Stand. We will not delay, because that's what we call a congregational prayer. We are following the call that the Imam makes. So number one was takbir. Number two was following with the Imam, not before, not after. The last thing, brothers and sisters, I want to address is children. Children. The fact that this is the 10th of Muharram and that the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hassan and Hussein, they both partially replicated, they mimicked their creation, their khalq. Hassan radiallahu anhu from top to waist was like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his structure. And Hussein radiallahu anhu from the bottom down was like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They were so close to him. He loved them. He loved them so much. And his martyrdom is something that is remembered on this day. But in light of that, I want to talk about children. There is times that Rasulullah was leading the prayer and he's in sujood, and Hassan and Hussein would come on his back. He would stay in sajda until they would finish praying and they would get off so he could stand up. You know, it's medically proven that it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. Why is it that we have become so rough with our children? I've seldomly seen in any community or any masjid where there's that shaqqa, that love, that mercy to the children. If a child's making noise, you know, the way we look at the person whose child is crying or the child itself is as if we're the angel of death. And then some of us make fatwas and rules, children shouldn't come to the masjid. And then same people come back when the children's 40, 50. Imam said, my child doesn't come to the masjid. I wonder why. I really wonder why. We dictate before and then we hope after. We want to make an environment where everyone should come, where we all help one another to fit into the crowd. If you think children cannot be disciplined, you're gravely wrong. Take a child to a library and tell me which one jumps up and down. They understand very soon that the atmosphere here is quiet. So they themselves become quiet. But when they come to the masjid, they're confused between us talking and telling them, be quiet. Or us telling them, don't do this, and we're doing that. So they're confused. As I said, trending things become contagious. Let's make the sunnah contagious. So if children want to come, parents should bring the children, but this is what we should do, inshallah. Those who are younger ones that have not yet understood, they can pray in the back room with the parents, and the parents could take care of them. We find in fiqh also, you could even hold your child if need be to be in salah. You shorten your salah and finish it fast if your child is crying. But let them learn about this place. And let us whose children are not here, and we see other people's children, let us show mercy to them and love to them. There wasn't a child at the time of Rasulullah ﷺ, but he said salam to them. He smiled. He touched their head. He showed shafqa and love to them. Let us do the same. Let us help those parents. And when those children are, mashallah, disciplined and they understand what the protocol is here, then they enter the masjid in the back stuff and they form their lines. Does that make sense? But let's not be rough. Let us not show a demeanor which makes them run from the masjid. I end with this. A man saw Rasulullah ﷺ kissing his grandchildren. He said, you kiss your children and grandchildren. I have so many children, I don't kiss them. Because in our culture, what trended and became the norm is when you're rough and tough, you're the father. Right? You have to show your ru'b. You have to show your power. He said, what could I do if Allah took that mercy from your heart? Brothers and sisters, we are the instruments and tools of mercy. We are the ones that say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim every time we pray to remind us of that mercy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instill in our life, in our character, that mercy. Say Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to instill that love and mercy within ourselves, our family, our community, and then the entire humanity. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullah khairan for your time. And inshallah we'll speak soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.